Hey, I am back. We're back to looking at China. It's 1939 December, so it's basically 1940. Theoretically, the war should start now, but I don't think it will because it's only going to start after I do these researches, and I'm not going to do them until I'm done with this one and then this one, and then maybe this one. And yeah, then I will have researched everything I can except for stealing land, and it'll be time to steal some land. My total manpower and troopness is up to 700,000. So almost 700,000. So pretty soon, if I deploy a couple more of these dudes, and my let's assault the Maginot Line head-on soldiers are almost ready. Obviously, because I'm allied, because I got Netherlands into the Axis, I can go around. But I'm going to try going straight up the middle just to test the theory that having a whole bunch of two width units attack the line head-on will actually work. That would be funny if it does. Alright, let's get a look at what we're missing in order to make that attack work. We obviously need heavy tanks. We have a deficit of 574, and it'll take us 1,100 days making 0.5 heavy tanks a day to fill this. That doesn't sound right. Oh, we're making half a tank a day, so we need double. Yeah. So that's kind of sad. We also need 31 days to fill out our infantry equipment requirements, and 2,542 days to fill out our artillery requirements, and 870 days for anti-air. So we're going to need a ton of anti-air, artillery, and heavy tanks. So let's move all of our production over to doing that. And it's funny because we're just kind of doing it for a laugh, but it's actually going to hurt our real war effort because we have to reduce our production of other stuff in order to make this work. So anti-air, let's drop motorized to 0, we'll drop light tanks to 0, and drop naval bombers and fighters to 0, and then we'll make 6 of those, and 6 of those, and then as many heavy tanks as we can. And we're going to have to get a whole bunch more chromium. It's worth it, baby. I don't play this game to win because everyone knows how to win. I mean, there are enough bugs and stuff that if you want to, you could just win. I play this game to make it as hard as I can without being impossible. It's a sandbox after all. Alright, chromium from Turkey. Boom. Good. We have a surplus of steel. We actually have a kind of big surplus of rubber. That's sort of funny. Let's readjust this down. And surplus of tungsten and steel. Okay, good. Alright, let's see how fast we will fill out our heavy tank thing now that we're making 0.8 instead of 0.5. Okay, it's still going to take 657 days. 2 years before we're ready to attack the front line. That's crazy. And over here, this is going to take more than 2 years and less than 2 years. So we have enough anti-air coming, but we need more artillery. We need about 3 times more artillery to get it done in 400 days. We want to finish this. We have way too much infantry equipment coming in, despite giving most of it to Japan. And we're going to need twice as many heavy tanks. So let's make another line of heavy tanks. And move it to the tippity top. And we'll make it have, as many as we can. We're going to cut infantry equipment to here. And our artillery is coming in quite quickly, but our anti-air needs to speed up. And I just don't think we have the factories to do this. So I think it's okay if we end up with not enough anti-air. Anti-air kind of feels like the least important piece of this puzzle. So I'm going to drop that to 0 and then get artillery. This is going to be done in a year. Let's try to get it done a little bit faster. And heavy tanks as fast as we can. So heavy tanks are the most important. And these guys go in there. Alright, let's just try to get the completion of everything to synchronize so that it all finishes around the same time. Also, we really don't need infantry equipment at all because when the actual fighting starts, we're just going to repurpose some of our infantry over to garrison troops. So let's stop producing infantry equipment altogether. Alright, we need more chromium. Chromium. Man, Turkey is the chromium capital of the world. Chromium. And we somehow need more oil, I guess, because we're cool and we have nice legs. So let's reduce our Venezuelan oil commitment by 1. And then up our Netherlands commitment by 1. Because they're our allies now and they're willing to give us more, a higher percentage of what they make. Romania is finally able to give us 1. Before they liked other people more than us, but I guess for some reason maybe some of their friends got conquered. So that's all good. Alright, looks good. Let's grab Mr. Rommel and make sure the things he's doing are not going to get him killed. Go and do the things you wanted to do. Alright, so let's check logistics again. Heavy tanks are going to be done 400 days, a little over a year. This is 100 days. 1,608 days. I thought I made as much artillery as I could, but apparently I did a bad job of that. Huh. Well, maybe it's time to conquer some more military factories from somewhere. Improved infantry equipment. It's past 1939, so we should get better infantry weapons. We need military police. I've heard that paratroopers are basically broken and that they're way too good and you shouldn't use them. Otherwise, it seems kind of tempting to use paratroopers. I'm kind of diverting from my let's make tons of naval bombers and just cross the English Channel path. They should stick with their own little sphere of influence. The United Kingdom announces the Balkans Development Initiative. Oh, that's ever so sad. Let's make better naval bombers. And we'll research the production of factories, although through conquest we should get all the factories we're ever going to need. We're going to invite Italy to our faction. Yay, Italy. One thing you got to worry about with Italy is that sometimes, because the Maginot Line is so sexy, sometimes Italy just runs in and takes Paris, and that's no good. Like I said, what you're supposed to do as Germany is plan to go this way. But I like goofing around, so I can't just do what you're supposed to do. So sometimes goofing around gets Italy too much land. So I think Norway is losing. I wonder if they'll accept volunteers. Maybe I can just join their war. But if I join their war, I think it's going to kick off World War II. I can start a Lend-Lease. Let's send them some infantry and equipment. We'll send them 20% of our infantry equipment, which is none. They better not lose this war, because that would be ridiculous. Why can't I send them volunteers? You don't have any expeditionary forces in their country. Send volunteers. We are allied to them. Sending volunteers to allies is not possible. If you want to join their war, then do it. That's so sad. I don't want to start World War II. If fascism has to die in Norway, then so be it. I wish I could send more to that Lend-Lease, but I want to have my French experiment ready for when the French war actually starts. And at this rate, it doesn't seem like I will, because it's going to be a whole year before I get enough heavy tanks. You know, I remember at some point noticing that heavy tanks are actually worse than light tanks at fighting infantry. Let's see if that's true. So we got 50 breakthrough, 21 soft attack. And that's all that matters. Then in heavy tank town, we got 50 breakthrough and less soft attack. So it's true. I should actually be assaulting the Maginot Line with light tanks, not heavy tanks. But too late now. It's not too late now, but I just want to try it. Alright. Cooler radar stations. Let's make some radar stations over. What I really want... Well, let's make some radar stations covering this little area. And then, theoretically, I can put one ship right here and just keep everyone out of the Balkans. Construction radar. But I don't know if my radar can reach the Balkans. I mean, not the Balkans, the, Thanks, darling! He's telling me that something is ready. Like the dough or something? The Jello? No, that'll be ready tomorrow. Tomorrow, not today. No, buddy, I'm not going to feel it because it's ready tomorrow, okay? We'll eat it tomorrow. You can drink it now. It'll just be like drinking sugar water, but it'll be better if you wait until it actually turns into Jello, because then, I mean, that's the whole point of making Jello, is so that you can have Jello.
I did drink it.
That's great, buddy. I don't think that you should drink it, but you can if that's what you really want to do.
I really want to do it.
All right. Yes, but don't drink a lot. If you just want to drink sugar and water, you could just put sugar in water. You don't need to make half of Jello and then drink it. Whatever. Everyone likes drinking Jello. There's no advantage to volunteer only. I think there should be. Because right now, switching between these two, there's just no point. The more limited conscription is just better. Maybe it makes sense, because a lot of people debate whether there's a difference between volunteer army and a limited conscription. I think limited conscription is only people that can't get into college, and at that point it's like, what are you really losing out on? Material designer. So we could get better research time and construction speed and factory output by going export focused, but then we need to import steel from somewhere. But I'm okay with that. I like export focused. A lot of people go closed economy with Germany, but that cuts into your research time, factory output, and construction speed, and the only benefit you get is that now you have a little bit more raw materials. But the main thing is that once you conquer all of Europe and much of Africa, who are you going to be trading with? Like, what's the point in export focus? But I would argue that having 25% less materials when you don't actually need all the materials you have because you own the whole world is still a worthy sacrifice to make to the gods of having faster research. So, yeah, that's my story. Once upon a time, go, go, go. Once upon a time, belly buttons. Once upon a time, belly buttons. Why is this not working? There we go. So that's the capital of China, and we're trying to get to it because we're cool beans. Notice that I'm attacking across a river into a mountain for no reason. I didn't tell them to attack in this direction. It's not part of the plan. I don't understand why it's happening. That's really weird. So you see how there's a circle and then an arrow? The arrow points to what's being attacked. So we are attacking across a river up a mountain. And we're winning because we're awesome. But we only have 19 soft attack doing this because we have so many penalties. It's just like, I don't understand the benefit of... It's not like I want that province. What are you doing? What are you even doing? Let's see if I can convince them not to be morons. I don't know that it really qualifies as moronic to perform an attack that you will definitely succeed at and won't lose very much doing, even if that attack doesn't really get you anything that you need. But it seems moronic. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's fine. It's definitely not ideal, but I don't think it's moronic. That's a little harsh. Alright, let's go over here with them, and you guys can go here. And you can go into the mountains, just for funsies. Alright, so we got the capital. Looks like we overran something. That's good. Always good to overrun things. Again, gaining all the way up to 30% more from this stuff. This is one that I wonder about. Is a level 2 synthetic refinery produce more than 2 level 1 synthetic refineries? This building provides +5 +2, and this building provides +5 +2. So it doesn't. So why would I want level 2 synthetic refineries? Doesn't seem like that makes any sense. I researched it with Japan and realized what it did and was like, I don't get, how is this beneficial? It doesn't seem beneficial to me. Anyway. Engineering. I'm caught up to 1939. It is now 1940 though, so let's get caught up to 1940. 5% better research. Whee! Alright, let's So in StarCraft, it's faster to make little selection boxes. But in this game, it seems to be faster just to click on your armies. Because selection boxes don't have the responsiveness that they should. It's funny, I already have troops on the other side of this river, and yet I'm committing 3/4 of my army to making a river crossing. Like, if my units weren't so much better than their units, I would really dislike the terribleness of what goes on here. And I'm not saying that was the AI's fault. I clearly grabbed them and said, go across this river. But... Again, attacking across the river. And I'm making so many pockets that I suspect the Japanese AI is going to get really confused. Done with all of the important stuff. I can now get this one for better rocketry, which I don't care at all about. This gives me... I need 850,000 manpower to convince the Russians that they don't want to mess with me. How close am I to 850? But also Molotov ribbon monkeys will give land to Russia when I take Poland, and I might want to just keep Poland. I don't see why Russia should get any land. As long as Russia doesn't attack me like they did last time. Last time I didn't bother with that because, you know, for the same reasons. I was like, well, I can just kill Poland and keep their land. Wouldn't that be better? And then Russia attacked me because they were like, I actually kind of want half of Poland if that's okay with you. And I was like, no, it's not okay with me. And then they killed me and I was like, I don't like being dead. This is not cool. Looks like fascist Norway is still having troubles. I wish Sweden can join the war without starting World War II, but I don't think that's possible either. Okay. I noticed that the AI almost always does this and this, and it's like, why? Why do both of these? This doesn't get you anything. It just makes it easier to ally Estonia, which you don't... I don't want to ally Estonia. It's weird. And when I say this and this, I mean the Ribbentrop, let's split Poland with Russia and promise not to attack each other thing, and the Anti-Comintern Pact, where we talk to all the nations that border Russia and say, hey, wouldn't you rather be friends with us so that we can protect you from Russia? Historically, I don't know if Estonia and Lithuania ended up being allied to Germany or ended up being conquered by Germany. Because it's just like... either way, it happened instantly, because... Neither of those nations was about to conquer Germany. It wasn't a deciding thing. All right, so let's try to surround this place and then kill it. That doesn't seem like... That's one thing that I don't like, is there's no kill pocket command. Often when there's naval invasions or breakthroughs in your line, these pockets form, and there's no way to just say, kill this pocket. You can't just mark it as something that should be killed. Because what they do if you mark it as a front line is they surround it, and they're like, we've surrounded it successfully, sir. And you're like, I didn't really want you to surround it. It would be better if you just killed it. All right, modify the government. I like war economy. I like export focus. I like limited conscription, although I don't really care about conscription. I want max naval range, submarine, paradrop, interceptor, attack. Only 3%. That doesn't seem very good. Let's make our infantry better, even though we don't have any. Should be fine. Is there anyone else we can invite to the Axis? I think we got everyone we cared about. We got Norway, Sweden, Denmark, Netherlands, and Italy. We'll be getting Hungary at some point. Then I won't have to deal. Close. I think what she means is Nora crying and making your life miserable. But Nora is good. Nora is fine. Alright, so these units that came over here green trained themselves all the way up to level 3 just by killing the Chinese army. So that's good. And now the messenger's still not closed. Well, I will pause the recording and figure it out and test. Hey, we're back. Right. We're China-ing all of the China. We keep crossing rivers and then crossing back across rivers, but it just doesn't matter. I feel like this fighting is too easy. It's the problem. And it tempts us. It tempts us to lose tanks and manpower and stuff when we don't need to. And that's very sad. I wonder if there's a way to see how many manpower we've lost. We lost 61 infantry equipment, which presumably means we lost 61 infantry, right? I read, and it wasn't in a wiki or somewhere official, it was in some random guy's response to some other random guy's question. So it's probably not true. But it seems to make sense. I read that the way losses work is that when an infantry dies, he loses his infantry equipment. And that's the only way you can lose an infantry equipment without losing an infantry. Like, you don't just lose gear. You lose gear and the soldiers associated to it. Except during exercise. And it sounds reasonable to me. But I don't really know. I guess we could do some math and find out if it's true. And just by saying, how many of these things have we lost? And then how much manpower have we lost, right? Anyway, I get really distracted when Nora comes downstairs and asks me to show her some more ants. Because we were just playing with ants a second ago. You pick them up and let them crawl all over you, and it's cute. Even fun.
As Mommy's back.
That's great, darling, but unfortunately it's bedtime. Oh no. It's bedtime? Alright, I'm supposed to be getting preparation bonuses. Oops, that's not what I wanted. Alright, you go stand on the line. Go. This is how you get preparation bonuses, by not standing there long enough. I don't know, I just can't convince myself that I should wait for preparation bonus when these fights are won in 2 seconds with no losses. It just doesn't seem right. Okay, that one, though, for some reason is very challenging. So let's send everyone here. And you can go here. And maybe we'll pause the thing so they stop attacking into that city, because that's crazy. Why are you attacking into a city? And now, again, when you only have 4 units, battle lines get a little crazy. It's like, let's defend these 27 provinces while attacking those 2 provinces. And no, that's not right. So we're going to cut off this port altogether for reinforcement. We want 1 dude there and 1 dude over here. And Macau looks like it belongs to Portugal. That's funny. Lower Austrian state is now cored by the Germans, and we get additional factories, and we get additional equipment, and all sorts of cool stuff. So welcome to the Reich, Austria. We missed you. We're glad to have you back. It's funny because World War I, Austria and Germany were good buddies, but they were certainly not the same country. So pretending that Austria has always been German and belongs as part of the German Empire is a little bit silly. That's okay, because they speak German, and anyone who speaks German should clearly be conquered by me. We can befriend Czechoslovakia or take some of Czechoslovakia. We can take Memel. I don't feel like taking Memel is... it's a not very good province. I'm surprised that this is even... no, it's not an option. This is only an option if we control Paris. Demand Yugoslavia. See, this tends not to work because Yugoslavia is big and no one wants us to just take it. This takes Memel. This tries to take Danzig and fails. I think this is the route that the war actually usually takes. So we're going to go through demanding the Sudetenland and then taking some more land from Czechoslovakia. And okay, let me show you. All right, so the first thing we're supposed to do, where's the states map mode? States. See this yellow land around Bohemia? We just kind of get that for free, and I've never seen them reject it. You always just kind of get that. Then we try to take Bohemia and divvy up all the other stuff amongst Hungary and Romania and other people. So we kind of destroy Czechoslovakia and hand its land over to other places. And the one that takes all of Yugoslavia and makes them a puppet, I kind of like that one. That would be cool. But I've never seen them accept that one. It feels like the odds of them. I guess France and England have to be allied in order for them to not accept it. I don't know. I know that I talked to Scornfist, and at one point, France became fascist or communist, and then they wouldn't ally England. But France guaranteed Poland, and England didn't. So he ended up in a war with France and Poland, and it's just like, you win now because you get to kill France and Poland, and no one else stops you. Like, that's the perfect situation. Artillery research time, motorization research time, small arms research time. I feel like I'm going to have to research the small arms things all game, whereas the other things I might research a little bit here and a little bit there, but I'm not going to be constantly doing it. Decisive battle expert. I guess I can't do these things anyway, so we need to get more of whatever it is that we're talking about here. Maybe we don't. No, we're done with all that. So we're demanding the Sudetenland around Bohemia. It's Sudeten. I mean, the land is rightfully ours because it's called the Sudetenland. You know, if we call it something Sudeten, that just means ours. I don't really know what Sudeten means. Come on, let us in. Let us in. We're your buddies. Okay, we got Guangzhou. Guangzhou province. Guangzhou. That's. I know I've heard that pronounced before, and I think that's the correct pronunciation, but that's funny. I'm trying to end the Chinese war. The thing is, when you end the Chinese war and Japan takes all of China, that's going to bump world tension all the way up to 100%. So anything we want to do before world tension is 100%, we should do before conquering China. So I kind of feel like we should stop this. We should not succeed in the war against China just yet. Because... Oops. Z? X? I don't know. Maybe we can't get there for some reason? I feel like we can. Why is it not letting me? I guess we can. We just have to do it very slowly and gradually like that. Alright, I hope that my troops don't all suicide while doing these things. But I'm going to let them get their preparation bonus up because I want this not to finish before we have finished demanding the Sudetenland. How's our heavy tank production coming? I feel like our Maginot Line experiment is close to being fully equipped. Look at that. Look at how much of our stuff we have. So this guy, he needs more artillery and anti-air. And he's got 12 of his heavy tanks. Oh my gosh. This guy has 35 of his 40 heavy tanks. We are almost there. We're rocking it. Look at this. We only need 47 more heavy tanks. We're going to be done in 11 days. Artillery will not be done for 513 days. And anti-air won't be done for 400 days. But we're almost done with heavy tanks. That's amazing. We're so happy. All right. I've always thought it's better to have 10 units with 5 units worth of gear in stockpile than to have 15 units, because as your dudes die, the manpower is instantly replaced, but the gear is only replaced if you have some in stockpile. So I don't think that I should have soldiers out there fighting who don't have guns. It just seems like a waste of manpower. So I think it's always important to have a stockpile of everything that you plan to fight with. I feel like these guys have gotten enough experience, right? They're level 4, this guy's level 5. And his XP bar is full, 98% full, 99% full, 100% full. His XP bar is down to 96% full now. So I don't think there is a level 6. I think he goes up to level 6 and it just subtracts 10% experience. So this guy's no longer benefiting from being here. So if I unassign him from Rommel, will he automatically go home? Oh, now I don't know how to find him. Alright, this is him. Can you go home? No, he doesn't just go home, so there's no reason to unassign him. Let's put him back in there. Alright, advanced machine tools to help us make cooler factories. It's 1940, so we don't really want anything that's not 1940. We'd like this stuff, but we're not ready yet. Air Doctrine. Air Supply Mission Efficiency. Air Support. That's... Dive bombing allows greater accuracy, but for best results it requires specialized aircraft, both able to slow their dives and survive stresses of pulling out of them. So this makes our close air support better, but I don't think we have any of that. It's 1940, so it's time. It's time for us to get a better naval bomber and better close air support and better fighters. So we'll start on that. Oh boy, we stopped producing Air Force in order to get these heavy tanks out. So as soon as they're done, yeah, they're done now. I'd like to cut back on heavy tank production dramatically. Let's even delete one of these lines. And I'll just make like 4 at a time of heavy tanks. We want to finish towed artillery and anti-air. And we want to go back up to 5 infantry and maybe 3 support and maybe 3 motorized, and then definitely some light tank. But most importantly, we want to get back into the fighter and naval bomber production. But it seems like since I'm about to finish researching a new type of these guys, maybe it would be dumb to actually ramp up production of the old type of those guys, right? So never mind. Let's adjust our trade. I wish there was a checkbox for just auto adjust trade, like only trade with partners that I already have, automatically increase and decrease trade as I change what I want, and always do it by clicking this button, right? And then that's it. If I need to do anything in order to avoid having a major surplus that I don't really want, then make a little pop-up. But in general, if all I'm doing is clicking that button, then you can do that. You don't need to make me click that button. That's silly. Alright, infantry equipment and more infantry equipment. Insufficient resources. Oil. Let's go for Venezuelan oil. Actually, I feel like Venezuelan oil should be our last resort. Anyone who doesn't need ships should be our primary source of oil. We'll go for the Netherlands. Right. Everyone in there. I don't know. I feel like I should just bring these guys home. They're not gaining XP anymore except for these two. Or maybe I'll just unassign these guys from their current front. And then assign only the little noobs to the front. Or maybe I'll just manually run the noobs around killing stuff. And go get them some XP. You go run around killing stuff. It'll be great. And watch their organization go down. Down, 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 to down, down, to down. Come back here. Alright, China capitulated. World tension's at 100, just like we thought it would be. So now, all the democratic dudes can start producing goods out of their factories instead of having to spend all of their factories making consumer goods. Also, my volunteers came home. Also, my Lend-Lease got instantly canceled. I'm still Lend-Leasing some stuff to Norway, and Norway is definitely still losing. Let's modify the Lend-Lease to be greater. Send 80% of our infantry equipment up there. I think Norway's going to lose. I don't know what to do about it. If I assist them, then I won't be able to do all of the taking of land without aggressive expansion that I like to do. But do I really care about my aggressive expansion now? Because the idea of avoiding aggressive expansion was to allow me to ally the people I wanted to ally. But I already allied everyone I planned to ally. I don't plan to ally anyone else. So maybe I no longer have to worry about this, and I should just start the world war. But then again, anything I take peacefully, I don't have to fight resistance in. So let's stick with the peace. We like peace. Peace is good for us. Stop asking. Okay. It's 1940. 19. Improved radar. More improved radar. Let's have like a super high level radar and just not build it anywhere. That'll be great. Construction. I think we already built super high level radar somewhere. Let's check this map. Yeah, we have super high level radar right here. Oh my gosh. Sorry guys, I know how annoying it is when there's a video with pinging sounds. But what can you do? Northern West Germany has a huge radar. That's covering only the ocean tiles around me. Kind of feel like I should move all of my Air Force into this Northwest Germany. So assign everyone. Some fighters and naval bombers. If I click assign, select all, assign all, rebase all. I kind of want to put everyone from everywhere there, though, not just. Did I delete all of my air wings? Yeah, okay, that's what happened. I deleted all my air wings. So let's make this one 400. Seriously, stop pinging me. And we'll make this one 400. People say you should use 200 because air bases are in multiples of 200, but multiples of 200 are also usually multiples of 400, right? So it's all good. Alright, do I have enough planes to fill those orders? Looks like I do. And we're not going to assign them any missions for now because we want them there, but we don't want them flying around. We just want them just kind of sitting there being cute, like buttons. Cute as a button. Alright, and this airbase can hold 2,000 airplanes, so I need several more of these. Schalin and Ostpreußen. Those are two different airfields? Why are they both open? I just want this one open. Alright, let's make another fighter wing. That seems good. 467. Let's just put 2 of these. That way, we'll have some reinforcements. $387. I just want to go up to 400. Okay, that seems reasonable. And then we'll make another non-fighter wing of bombers, especially naval bombers. We want 200 naval bombers. And then another wing of 200 naval bombers. And another wing of 200 naval bombers. Okay, sounds good. We'll make this 200 if we can. This is 201 instead of 200, but whatever. Should be 200, and this should be 200. This is another thing. You should be able to set default air wing size, and then it'll just always be 200 or 400 or whatever. Actually, these should all be 400, right? Yeah, you be 400. It'll be fine. Good. You'll also be 400. And you too. Alright, and then I want to put my whole fleet there so that my fleet gets attacked and the naval bombers kill anyone who's attacking my fleet, right? A historic day, the Munich conference, where everyone agrees that as long as I can have the Sudeten land, there won't be a war in Europe. And it'll be great. Everyone will be happy. I will get a bunch of land for no reason. And I promise not to then click this button. It's perfect. Works for everyone. Alright. Naval Air Designer, yes. I want Naval Air. Sounds good. So let's look at this air zone. Oh, I guess the Baltic Sea is its own air zone. I thought Northwest Germany was the Baltic Sea zone, but it's not. Okay, good. Well, let's assign everyone to the Baltic. And rebase everyone into the Baltic. Assign everyone. Our volunteer forces that were fighting have come home, and now you have lots of happy-go-lucky monkeys. Where are all of these guys? I guess they're not ready yet. They're like, we still don't have enough artillery. It's super sad. Alright, we need to be making more artillery. How long until the artillery gets made if we change nothing? 255 days. That's crazy. Oh, we're losing 21 artillery per day somehow. .23 artillery per day. How are we losing artillery? I don't think... I mean, it says that we send 21 artillery per day out to the front lines as reinforcements. Maybe they're not replacing losses. They're just reinforcing units that got deployed without all the artillery they needed to be effective. Either way, more artillery is needed. That squeaking noise is annoying, just so you know. Let's make another artillery line. Yay for artillery. We'll move them to the top, and then we'll lower the production of other stuff. We don't need anything but artillery right now. Anti-air is almost done. We'll leave it for now, but then in the future we will lower it. We don't need too many heavy tanks. I'm going to pause it because there's talking.